Welcome back to XboxCorner and to another weekly Game Pass update. My name's Luke, and our second wave of Game Pass titles have been announced, with another 5 titles hitting the service, which to be honest is a little meagre in comparison to some of the months that we've had, but they are all reasonably decent, and we've also got the levers announced, which I'll be covering off at the end of this video. With that said though, drop us a like, subscribe for more deals, reviews and Game Pass content, and let's get into it. So kicking things off with a quick little announcement and an update to cloud gaming touchscreen controls, with another 12 games receiving touchscreen support. These include many of the new additions to Game Pass, including Disc Room, Escape Academy and the recently released As Dusk Falls, so if you're gaming on the go you can now play these titles with just your digits instead of needing a controller. Into our first new addition though, we have Watchdogs 2, a game which is a fair few years old now, but still a relatively decent one if you're into the whole Ubisoft open world genre and fancy becoming an elite hacktivist for a few days. Playing as Marcus Holloway, a young hacker who gets slammed for a crime that he didn't commit, you once more find yourself working alongside DedSec as you attempt to expose the corrupt technology company Bloom and the dodgy new operating system. The key feature of this one of course though is being able to use your mobile phone to hack nearly anything, but if you played the first game there have been improvements made to a lot of the core gameplay mechanics, especially when it comes to the driving, the authenticity of the hacking mechanics, and the overall quality of the world design. If you enjoy GTA style games though, then you'll probably have a good time with this one. So I called this one a couple of weeks back with MotoGP 20 leaving Game Pass, but now we have the latest iteration in the series, MotoGP 22, available to all you bike racing fans. Myself, I'm not really into racing games, though I have enjoyed playing the likes of the latest Grid and Forza games, which are more on the arcadey side of things, but this one though is aiming to capture the thrill of crotch rocket racing, planting you in the seat of supercharged motorbikes and letting you loose on over 20 official circuits. The game features more than 120 riders, which I presume include plenty of well-known faces in the GP circuit. It has a campaign-like season mode where you get to live the 2009 Grand Prix, and there are a ton of different customization options, allowing you to tailor the visuals of the bikes and riders to your liking. In addition to this, there's also a managerial career mode, and for the first time in the franchise, a new multiplayer mode allowing you to race against a friend in split screen mode, or compete with other players in online challenge mode. Our third new addition this week is the PC Game Pass only title, Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, which was a last minute swap out for Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. This one is a 4X strategy game from way back in 2008, or more accurately the third expansion of that game, and it combines the usual 4X mechanics like resource management, base building and diplomacy with real-time combat as you take command of a fleet of spaceships of various classes and sizes. From what I've read though, this one was a big hit at the time of release, with critics praising its clever blend of RTS and 4X gameplay, as well as its user-friendly interface. And its storyline sees you playing on both sides of the war effort as either the rebels or the loyalists, and so far as I can tell it's your classic power struggle between a universal superpower and those who oppose it. It may be an old one, but if you're into your RTS or 4X games and are looking for a new one to dive into, then it may be worth a look here. The penultimate game on today's list is Inside, and this is one of my own personal favourites which I'm quite surprised wasn't already available on Game Pass. It's essentially the spiritual successor to Limbo, the dark and brooding trial and death platformer which left the service back in June of this year, but Inside shares a lot of similarities with that game, including a similar dark atmosphere, albeit with a little bit more colour, a sole protagonist in the form of a young boy who finds himself in a dystopian world drawn into the centre of a dark project, and plenty more deaths, platforming and puzzle solving for you to get stuck into. If you haven't yet played it though, it's a fantastic little puzzle platformer with a relatively short playtime, so it's an easy one to play through alongside other games, and I highly recommend checking it out if you're a fan of the genre. Rounding off today's list then, we have Torment Tides of Numenera, a thematic successor to Planetside Torment, and if you're a fan of games like Baldur's Gate or Pillars of Eternity, this one has a similar feel to it with its isometric perspective and heavy focus on narrative driven role playing, and it's actually powered by the same graphics engine as Pillars of Eternity. The game though combines strategic combat with environmental puzzles, stealth and social interaction, as alongside a host of strange companions you attempt to escape an unstoppable monstrosity known as the Sorrow. It's heavy on the lore and the storytelling, with plenty of game-changing decisions for you to make which shape the world around you and decide the fate of both you and your companions, and the game was highly praised by critics and players alike. Overall though, it looks like a great one to jump into if you've got the time to spare and are itching for a new isometric RPG to play. So that about does it for this week's roundup, but here's a quick run through of the games that are due to leave the service on the 31st of July, and as always in the top left corner you'll find the times to complete the main campaign mode if the game has one, as well as 100% completionist time for all you achievement hunters. First up though, we have Dodgeball Academia, a game which first hit the service about a year ago and for many turned out to be somewhat of a hidden gem. The game is set in a world where dodgeball is life as you become the latest student of an academy designed to train you to become the greatest dodgeball champion in the world. While there you get to meet plenty of interesting characters and form a dodgeball team as you battle your way to the top, and you also get plenty of downtime to explore the academy and its secrets. A great little title though, and well worth a play. Next to leave is another absolute gem of a game and one of my all-time favourite casual plays, as Katamari Damacy Reroll drops off the service at the end of the month, and if you like wacky Japanese games with ludicrous plot lines, then this game definitely has you covered. The objective in this one though is simple: roll your ball, or Katamari as it's known, through stages filled with everyday objects, stick said objects to your Katamari to increase its size, which in turn allows you to pick up even bigger objects, and the game's plot sees you rolling these up to restore the cosmos stars which your father accidentally destroyed. It's a bit mental but great fun, and I for one am really hoping to see a new Katamari game announced sometime in the near future. Lumin's Remastered is our next lever, and another favourite of mine which blends tile matching puzzle mechanics with music, and what an awesome soundtrack this game has. Unlike Tetris, the aim of this one is to link together blocks which come in two different colours, connecting as many of them as you can before a side-scrolling timeline erases them, awarding you with points. It's an incredibly simple concept, but it's the music which really keeps things interesting in this one, as the tempo of it affects how quickly the timeline scrolls, which means adjusting your playstyle to ensure you optimise your point gain, whilst also avoiding filling up your screen with blocks. An awesome little puzzle game though, and well up there amongst the best in my opinion. The fourth lever this month then is going to be Omno, a quaint little adventure tile with a low poly visual aesthetic, full of puzzles and secrets for you to find, and on the whole it's quite a relaxing experience and a nice change of pace. Guiding Omno through an ancient world on a journey of discovery, you'll be learning new powers as you go, allowing you to traverse the terrain in different ways, and this one definitely takes inspiration from the likes of Journey and Sky, Children of the Light, as you surf your way through deserts and glide your way through the clouds. A nice one though if you're looking for more of a casual play and only have a few hours to spare. So our final lever then is Raji, an ancient epic, but the reason this one is leaving is because it was actually replaced by the new enhanced version of the game on the 20th of July, giving it a few additional features and some visual upgrades, so it's not actually leaving, but I figured I'd drop it in here to highlight it in case you missed it. This one though is an action-adventure game set in ancient India, bathed in Hindu mythology, which follows a young girl called Raji and her epic quest to repel a demon invasion and rescue her younger brother. And gameplay features plenty of platforming and hack and slash combat, which, to quote Alex, is similar to God of War Chains of Olympus on the PSP. If you want to know more about this one though, Alex covered the Switch version of the game, and I'll leave a link to his review on it down in the comments section below. And so that about does it for another month of Game Pass, unless Microsoft pulls a swift one on us. So will you be downloading any of the new titles that I've mentioned today, or polishing off any of the levers before they go? As always, let us know down in the comments section below. Hopefully we'll have another batch of great games to look forward to for August, and as always we'll let you know about them when they drop. But until then, hit that like button to support the channel, drop us a sub if you're looking for deals, reviews, Game Pass content and more, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks everyone, take care.